Hello, my beautiful cuddlebugs. Welcome to Ramblings of a Book Dragon, where we dive into warmth of good books and unravel stories that feel like a literary hug. I'm Allie, and I'm thrilled to embark on another cozy adventure with you. So grab a nice warm beverage, find your favorite reading nook, and let's begin. Today's episode will be a review of Witch of Wild Things. Before I start this episode, I would like to advise that this will contain spoilers. I will give the general overview of the plot and then let you know when the spoiler things will happen. Witch of Wild Things was written by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland and written this year in 2023 and performed by Krista Gonzalez. I thought that the book was alright. I gave it 3 stars. The narrator, Krista Gonzalez, I thought she did a good job, but I think that things could have been better. There were some difficulties distinguishing between the different characters. So it was kind of hard to tell who was who, but I think she did a great job otherwise with conveying the tone, and especially the sarcastic notes that our main character had. I really liked that. I thought that was a lot of fun. The book is about a young woman named Sage who used to work at a university teaching jewelry making before she was fired after she slept with her department head and then decided afterwards to no longer sleep with him. So he fired her under the pretense of budget cuts, and then she had to go back home to her small town of Cranberry in Virginia to live with her great aunt Nadia and her sister Teal, whose boyfriend is living with them as well. They used to have a third sister named Sky who died 8 years ago after a tragic incident. And because of that, and because before that point their mother abandoned them, Teal she blames Sage for everything that ever goes wrong with within the family. And what's interesting and what I really liked about this book is that the women in the Flores family each have a magical gift because, according to legend, many, many years ago, someone in the family upset one of the old gods. And so all of the women in the Flores family have been given the opportunity to have a magical gift. And it seems to be only them. We don't really explore anything else, or if there's ever anyone else in the world that has these gifts. But Sage has the gift of plants. She can tell exactly which plant it is. She can feel their energies. She can tell exactly what the plant is. She can help it grow. She can nurture it. She can basically talk to them and see if they even want to be cut, among other things. She's a plant witch. Her sister Teal is a weather witch. The weather really mimics her moods. Like if she's very angry, it becomes very stormy and rainy. If she's happy, it's very sunny. And then the third sister, Sky, she had a gift of animals. And before the book started, there was a young man named Tennessee Reyes. And at the beginning of the book, we find out that her friend, one of her friends, when she's moving back, he's back in town. And 14 years ago, Sage and Tennessee Reyes, they were talking on AIM through chat. She found him really attractive and it was all very cute. She kind of stalked him a little bit to get his AIM name, and then she started talking to him, but he had no idea who she even was. And she had agreed to meet with him at one point, and throughout the course of the book, it turns out that he has no idea that she's the girl that he was talking to, and he wants to find her because after his mom died, he feels that everything's been going kind of wrong, and his father's not a nice guy, and he's trying to find that feeling of safety and security and happiness, which he only really felt one time before when he was talking to AIM Girl. They both did, and it's kind of an enemies to lovers type of situation for her, on her side anyway, because he broke her heart 14 years ago, which we don't really find out why until near the very end. But she needs a job when she moves back home, and so she works with this company that deals with plants, sells clippings and flowers and everything. And Tin is brought back because he's good at looking for plants. So she agrees because it pays more, and the more money she makes, the sooner she can leave, because family life is not looking very good right now with everything that's going on. So they start to go around looking for plants, and naturally she starts to fall in love with him again. But her best friend tells her that she knows that she's a witch and that she was Girl. So her best friend tells her, don't fall in love with him until you told him who you really are. And things kind of go downhill from there. And so that was one of the things, this is going to get into the spoilers. That was one of the things that was kind of a miss for me, is that you're slowly watching a train wreck. And I couldn't stop watching the train wreck because we know exactly what's going to happen, and everything happened exactly the way we thought it was. They sleep together. He finds out, and it wasn't even that she told him, it was more that she messed up and said the full name, and he was even asking her to help him find Aim Girl. And rather than telling him then, like, hey, I'm that girl, she gives him a couple of random names. I see what the author was doing, and I think that what she was doing really good was giving the warm, cozy vibes with the book of the witches and the plant searching and all those little cutesy moments. But there were some things that I just didn't quite like about it, and now we're going to get into some of the spoilers that I'm not sure what the author could have done better moving forward with the next book, but maybe these are things that she can look into moving forward of ways to handle this, because like I said before, going back a bit, and the overarching theme was more about family and coming back together and kind of looking into those feelings, those bad feelings that Sage had, which was basically that her great aunt had parentified her after their mom left. And so it was more of that, of coming to terms with past grievances and everything with that. My other issue was that the way that it was handled throughout the book, there's this slow hint, this slow buildup. Sky may not necessarily be a ghost, because ghosts can't move objects, they can't age, they can't do all these things. But Sky, she's able to make Sage's favorite coffee. She's growing, she's aging, her hair is long, she's gotten taller. And so we're slowly building up to this point of, wait a minute, what's really going on with Sky? Turns out that Sky is actually a spirit, and because Sky fell from this bridge that she and Teal were playing near this cliffside bridge, I guess, and somehow or another during all of that, Sky's body fell, and because of that she was so scared that her spirit left her, and Sky's ghost has been haunting only Sage ever since that point in time. And I don't know, there was just some things about this book that just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, Teal gets really angry at Sage when it's finally this big reveal that Sky has been haunting Sage. Instead of being like, wow, that's crazy, she's very angry. She has anger issues, and none of that ever really gets addressed either. That Teal has anger issues, and Sage has always felt like she can't really say anything to Teal because they don't want to upset her because she can control the sky. So I gave it 3 stars because of the general overall aspects of it. But then at the end of the book, it's like a switch happens, because it's like the author is saying, oh, we're near the end of this book, we must wrap everything up. So naturally, we find out that Sky's body was being protected by the old gods. It's perfectly preserved, given all the nutrients, everything is perfectly fine with her body, and Sky is able to just waltz back in and everything's fine again. And it's like the past 8 years never really happened. And so then, like, that all seems to work out just fine. And because of that, and because Sky is no longer alive, Teal is suddenly apologetic that she's been angry and blaming Sage all this entire time. And it all becomes clear because Sage is like, I need to go on this apology tour of the book. She needs to go on an apology tour to everyone that she's ever wronged. She's making these necklaces for her sisters because she was a jewelry designer and she never really got back into that after she was fired, and she was exploring this relationship with Tennessee Reyes. And she broke his heart because he found out and he got angry with her and just understandably needed some space. There was just a lot going on, and I guess my other issue, in case people couldn't tell, was the fact that now all of a sudden it's like everything got fixed. And it felt like it was because we were at the end of the book and the book needed to be finished, so everyone needed to become one big happy family. Like their great aunt Nadia, Sage tells her that she's been feeling like she was parentified this entire time. She couldn't really have a childhood anymore after their mother left, and she gave Nadia a well-deserved talking to. And now at the end of the book, Nadia is trying to become more of a parent to the girls now that they're all adults. And something about that, it just felt a little too instantaneous for me. And the fact that she goes to 10 at the end and apologizes to him and says she got him all these clippings from this area that used to be his mother's land, but his father was a jerk and sold it to land developers. So she went in getting all these different flowers and plants so that he would still have some of his mom with him wherever he went in the future. And that managed to and she said that she loved him, and so that turned his heart, and he realized that yes, what she did was wrong, but he loves her too still. And so everything just miraculously all comes together at the end, and it was very sweet, very well done with that. And I really liked the development of the relationship between Sage and Ten, because at first it was like she didn't really trust him because he broke her heart, but he had no idea about the fact that he did that. And the whole reason why he even broke her heart was because she was supposed to meet him at a party and she was supposed to wear a blue dress. He sees a girl in a blue dress and he starts to kiss her, and she sees this and she becomes naturally upset and leaves, and then she never really gives him a chance to actually explain it, and that's the whole issue from 14 years ago. So I think that it was like the author was trying to throw all of the different ideas of that into one situation. So I think it's overall not bad, could have been done better, and I hope I please let me know in the comment section if you are able to, if you like this type of commentary. I'm trying not to lambast anything. I'm trying to give critical opinions without being too mean. Just these are all my personal opinions and thoughts on the situation. But I thought that it was okay, but I thought that it was okay enough to want to give a podcast review of it, because there were things that I think could have been done better in the future, like spreading things out a bit more, maybe having more discussions. Big thank you to all of you beautiful cuddlebugs for joining me on this literary escapade. Until next time, keep snuggling with those books and spreading the cozy vibes. Happy reading, my lovely cuddlebugs, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!